No helper today, but I've got the aileron spar just setting up there. We've got the flap spar already in there. The aileron spar will go from here all the way down. I did put in the compression struts, and as you remember last time, I had it too close to the top and too close to the bottom so that the Geodetic wouldn't go around it. It was sitting too high. So I backed it off just a little bit there and at the back there so that those compression struts will allow room for the Geodetic to get around there. So that's 1, 2, 3 compression struts done. Yesterday I cut up a whole whack of Geodetics, and it doesn't even look like that much, but I had a 2 by 6 piece of Sitka spruce. There's all that's left of it, and that is all it made up. So all the rest of that turned into dust, and it was actual thickness 2 inches by actual 6 inches. There's what we got left over, and that is all it made up. It's kind of sad to think that that beautiful big chunk of Sitka spruce ends up as sawdust. And you get that Geodetic. I'm hoping that that's going to be enough to do that wing, which we'll be tackling here pretty soon. Been a little busy. I got a new toy, so I was setting that up this weekend as well. We've got an Ender 3D printer, and right now I am actually just doing my first real print on here. What I'm going to do is it's going to be a wrench holder to stick all my wrenches in to organize them. So I'm going to be using that to build some of the parts that I'm going to need for my wing. Specifically, I'm going to build little plastic things, holders I guess you would call them, to hold my bearings into a piece of aluminum so that they don't move back and forth. I'm just going to make a cover out of plastic to go over top just so that this bearing will sit into the aluminum. I'll show you more about that later on when I get to it. Alright, let's get the aileron spar is glued into position. Now, on the plans it says to cut the cap strips and put them in and put this in and put that in. I built the spar first, slid it in, marked all the positions where the ribs are, cut those out, and then slid the whole spar in, dry fit it, make sure it fits good, and then go ahead and glue it into position. And what I've got here, it's 11 inches from the trailing edge to the leading edge of that aileron. So I've made this distance, made a little block there that fits, and it just fits snug all the way along there, so I know that the distance from the leading edge of the aileron to the rear main spar is exactly the same, so that aileron spar is exactly where it's supposed to be all the way along So that's glued into position, right where it should be. And that is the aileron spar. You've got to measure up from this edge to the edge here. It's 3/4 an inch, so we measure that out so you know exactly where it goes, and then put that sucker in there. All right, that's it for today.